Why, hello there, everybody. Welcome to Bot Assembly, SC2 Bot Assembly. I'm Drek and I'm your host, and together we are here going to code a bot that wins together. So that's the core of it, which is the weekly coding session where we get together and do some pure programming on a community project bot. And actually, do I have my my slides? I don't. Okay, but I'll go off the cuff just in case you don't know how peer program works. Essentially, we just work together on this bot to build this bot together. And the core benefit we get is that we're able to jointly operate and be in the same space and build the bot. And so if you don't know peer program, there's a driver, navigator, and then the mob. Those of you in the chat, you are the mob. But if you actually joined up in the event, so if you're a member, or if you're on my newsletter, I'm actually gonna start sending it out to people on the newsletter to come join me to code out here, as a single session. And you can add yourself to it and you'll get credit. You'll get credit, get your hands on a bot. You don't have to make your own bot from yourself, and you just get credit. Easy credit to say that you worked on a bot. And then, yeah. So peer programming, navigator kind of will take all the information through it, and then the pilot codes. Whatever the navigator says, the pilot does, codes right through, puts actions to words to actions, and then the mob and the navigator can converse, puts those things, and what happens, you have these ideas pass through several minds before it gets done. And so in typical mob programming or ensemble programming, nothing will kind of get done through on individual, like the pilot won't do much of they'll just code, and then all the stuff will pass right through the navigator to the pilot. Okay, so that's with that out of the way. Let's get a little update on where we're at with our bot. What's been happening with our bot. Our bot, we're working on Pigbot, and the goal with Pigbot has been to just produce this bot in StarCraft 2 that is a good training bot for people that people could play in training bot, and it uses Pig's Bronze to GM as the baseline for the bot as its builds. And ultimately, I'm hoping to do a little bit of reinforcement learning on this to decide what builds to choose, which should be easy. Like, I don't think that's a very difficult process, but we'll find out. And last time we left off, we just finished we added the kite back system to the probes to defend themselves in Worker Rush. And I mean, that was fucking cool, wasn't it? Wasn't that fucking cool? I thought it was super cool that the probes were able to kite. Wasn't that hard, but that, and then we were able to get a cannon rush defense, which is really, really good. So now we're going to be working on observers. The observer code, the code for observers, I have not touched since this bot's inception. I put in a very, very rudimentary observer code. This bot has definitely outgrown that code. It only produces one observer. The observer itself does not do anything. It's supposed to be like it's pretty janky. Let's be great honest. It follows the army a little bit. It stays a little bit of ahead of the army, but it doesn't really scout the high grounds. It doesn't make sure the army can see. It doesn't really do much other than stay ahead of the army. And so I think we can not only can increase that observer's ability to move around and find things, perhaps, but like we would be adding, I think we can add some multiple observers so that the bot will have a good vision. So we'll have like one observer that's like your core observer. This observer is here to kind of stick with it, kind of like, this observer is supposed to do what it's supposed to do, staying from the army. So you'll have like a main observer, and then we would do is we would probably put a couple of observers over the map to give the bot a lot of vision. When those observers should come out, what those observers should do, we'd probably hijack the Overlord path built into the ARIS framework, and we'll just have the observers follow that overlord path, because I cannot see, like, man, I admit I'm a little lazy in a sense. I don't want to custom make an entire path for the observer. I think we just hijacked the overlord path, which is right in the ARIS framework, and we'll just give the different scouting observers that path. So I think we can jump in. I think that's a good segue to kind of jump right into it. Let's get into our coding, shall we? All right. Oh, where did my music go? Girl, where's my music? All right, there we go. Got some music going on. So if we're talking about our roadmap for our bot, we are add additional observers. So I admit this actually was not as clear as I probably should have written it. It actually should say enhance observers, and that goes something like enhance observers, and then this is adding additional as part of that. So we're gonna have multiple parts of this. So enhance observers, and what enhance, and the next main thing we'll be doing is doing the combat simulator. So observers is the last kind of combat-esque, and one could argue tactics is part of combat, but I think this is kind of like baseline combat. So enhance observer, and so with the enhance observer, so we want to improve. Improve is kind of vague. Set observer path. Set army observer path. How do we want to fix this army path? Because I guess the main problem is it's not. It sometimes will miss the high ground. Like it won't stand from the army properly, and that's because I just kind of set it. So you want it to make sure. How do we want to make sure this does? We want to make sure that the army can see onto the high ground. Like that's really its true purpose, no? And obviously see detection. Oh, move to enemies it can't see. So we do probably want it as if the bot can't see an enemy or can't see something can't see, something's invisible. The observer will swing over to that. So that's something that's really important when it comes to enhancing observer. So we'll probably want to give it states. So there's probably like, oh, this is just you're just a regular giving the army vision observer, and then you're like, oh, the army can't see something or something can't be seen. Go and go help see it. And then multiple observers, so that we're not relying, or we're not taking this observer from a vital situation. So the last part will be adding additional observers. So we'll give it the behavior to see, so move enemies it can't see. So we'll probably say like add, no, so that'll actually be second. And this will be give multiple states. So we want it to be in certain states. So one state is I don't know, let's say like follow state. And then before we add additional observers, we'll be like state, and then break observers into multiple roles, into scout and I don't know, follow role. So we have scout and follow role. Uh, so move to enemies you can't see. We give multiple states, follow state, and reveal state. So follow and reveal. And then kind of want to set an army observer path. So that army observer path is we want this army, this observer to be able to, I guess, yeah. So I'll say, the optimal, the optimal distance from the army. Okay, cool. I think that's a pretty robust set of what the enhancing the observers looks like, and I feel like that really encapsulates what I wanted to get done. This will be a multi-day thing. I don't anticipate finishing this all in one day, but who knows? Maybe I'm magical. Maybe we can get this done in one day. I don't anticipate. So let's start off with the first objective, which is set a army path. Let's dig into where the observer is now. Is the observer in the scouting? What is this scouting to do? Figure out why the observer isn't moving straight to target and not scouting location. So there's a to-do here for me. So it looks like this is where we originally have the observer code. And so you'll sometimes might wonder, is like, oh, Drekken, don't you know your own code? Yes, but I've coded this. Like, I don't know, how long is this? This is like several months, maybe almost a half a year to a year. Where are we looking at this? I don't even know if I can time code this. So there's a lot of aspects to this bot that I have not looked at, touched, haven't explored for quite some time. Is there a plan here? Is there no? Oh, I guess is there no plan in? Okay, whatever. There's no plan. It's fine. I don't really need to give me a plan. Oh wait, we can actually give it an observer plan. Can we just give this specific observer plan for it to follow? Let's see if this works. So let's try something. I haven't really played around with the planning mode, so let's see if it'll do this planning mode. Going to be working on my observer because I wanted to have the context of what we're doing. So let's see if I can. What are you working on my observer on my bot? Getting to the to-dos. In scouting. Where else is this bot kept? It's in like, is there a observer? So actually we give it the scouting role, and we probably shouldn't give it the scouting role. We should actually give it a different role, because this, or we could give them all the scouting role, and then we give them, break them up into different squads, perhaps. No, squads is actually when they're close together. So we should actually think about how we want to do this. Let's just give them all the scouting role, and then we'll kind of figure out them by tag. Perhaps you'll like kind of maybe figure out we'll figure out another way to kind of separate them. Like, okay, you're not said scout. Your job is to kind of getting to the to-dos and scouting, and basic scouting, and what else I haven't? Where is that? The only code I have for the observer is here. I guess so. Huh. So the observer, we automatically just, where do we call scouting the scouting modules? What's the scouting module called? Control scout. So control scout. Control scout. So I just run. It looks like I run this scout every. Do I not check if there's an observer first? That's weird. Why would I not? Do I run it and then if there's no observer, it exits? Oh yeah, if not scout units, it exits. Okay, cool. It returns, which makes sense. Okay, so this runs every step. So everything's actually here, and creation of it. Fuck dy where necessary. So I wanted to have context. Oh my! Why is this code still up on the screen? I totally just dropped it down, but then it's not. Where necessary. I have some objectives. Create a plan. I'll help you create a comprehensive plan for implementing the observer function in. Let's break down this into observer role. Define enum for observer role. Scout and follow. Track role assignments for each observer. Did you make the plan? Where's the plan? Oi! I thought he was gonna make a plan. I guess not. Let's try. Oh, maybe it doesn't make it in this one. Let's try 4.1. 03 perhaps. Let's try 03 and let's see how it does about 03. I have tons of credits, so. I thought you were going to create a plan. Let's see if he's gonna create the plan. Ah, here we go. Now he's creating the plan. All right. I was like, I thought you were gonna create a plan. Now he's creating the plan. Taking a while though. User design observer role scout follow assignment logic implement follows observer state management track role target enemy position implement follow mode optimal distance pathing safety. Sure. Here's a clear implementation plan for your observer improvements. Define role, create an enum observer role with scout and follow. Oh, okay. Let me clarify this. Let me clarify. We'll be using the Eris frameworks role assignment. I'll be enhancing the system that I already have, so it's not from scratch. Read scouting to be fully up to date on what I have done. Update the plan. Let's see if we'll do that now. Some of these things sound a little fantastical, like implement scout mode, scouting priorities, fog of war, threat retreat. Like that sounds so magical. I don't know if I personally know how to code that, so. Aditya. For which company you work for? What a beautiful question. I do not work for any company. I run Versus AI, and I do now officially. I do work on bots for different companies with Versus AI. So if you yourself bot coder, you're in good company. So yeah. I actually have started to do bot, or at least lead teams for bot making in different games. So Well, that's a new development. So yeah, I don't work for any particular company. I run versus AI. Which is I'd like to think of us like a bot workshop. We're a bot workshop. Okay, let's see what this is here. Enhance observer role logic. Scout follow using the Eris framework. Thank goodness. Okay, extend observer state management. Track role. Target enemy position. Do we want it to follow enemies? Oh, that's for, I guess, if it's invisible. Improve scout mode. Scouting priorities. Fog of war. Yep. Enhance multi-observer conditions. Coordination. Sure. Integrate observer enhancements into bot PAY. Sure. Refactor update control scout to related functions, and yes. Okay, sure. Have you done any bot coding yourself, Adita? Are you a bot coder? Are you interested in bot coding? Or are you just here to chill with me as we code this bot together? Update the plan based on your scouting PY and Eris role system. Observer identification. Continue using Eris unit role observer. Is it unit role observer? That doesn't sound right. No custom enum required. Thank goodness. When observer spawns on created, it's tagged role scout. Oh, I must have made a one called observer unit role dot follow. There's no unit role dot follow in Eris. Let's actually maybe give it a little bit of a correction there. Shall we pull up something from Eris and maybe look at some of the roles we can give it? I don't know if we actually want to switch roles when it comes to the bot. Do we want to switch roles? Do we want it to be switching roles? Are we comfortable with it switching roles? And I say this only because it might be easier just keeping them all in the scouting role. And let's see if I can get this up so we can look through Eris together. I'm in first semester only. Well, if you want to code a bot and practice your bot coding, I don't know a semester for what school. Do I want to? What's the template? Template. There you go. Exclamation mark template. You want to get yourself a bot template? There you go. Get you started in a bot less than 30 minutes. Less than 30 minutes. Assuming you don't run into any errors in your environment, you should be up and running in less than 30 minutes. Okay, let's pull up. Where is browser? That took me way longer than it should have. Okay. So we want to see what kind of roles Eris has already. Roles, unit assignment roles. Oh yes, we went through this. There's like, it actually doesn't, Eris does not tell you all the total role. I think we had to use the AI to look in to see what roles were created. I think that's what we had to do last time. Yeah, I think that's what we had to do because I don't think they're actually, it's not loaded, it's not listed anywhere. So we actually had to go and have it look up all the different types of roles, which is a little irritating. But that's just life. Sometimes the stuff is around where you need it, sometimes it's not. So we will actually tell it. So say don't there isn't a unit role follow. Instead, we'll use what is it? Control group 1? Control group 1? What is it again? Is it control group 1? Control. Okay, I will just quickly try unit roles. So what if I wanted to do this quickly? I'm gonna just... Here it is. Yeah, so we'll just use control group 2. Yeah, we'll just use control group. I can't remember all the different rules, but there's attacking. So attacking, attack main squad, attacking transport squad, adept shades, harassing adept, drop units. Is there different scouts? Scouting. So there's scouting, build runner, scouter, defender, base defender. Ooh, there's a base defender role. That's good to know. So there's scout. There's defending. There's what else is there? Attack. Maybe we can just drop ships, drop lacking load. Let's just control group 2. Control group 8. Let's put on the end of control group, that just in case we like. Well, what's map control? Is that a real role? Ooh, map control. I don't know what that does, but can you get how I should utilize my time for better career options in AI sector? Oh goodness. That's a really good, that's an interesting question. I mean, my friend, what kind of AI are we talking about? Are we talking about like, if you're talking about like LLMs, MCP servers and other than the like, that's a completely different AI of which I am currently in. So if you're talking about the AI is that's a big word these days. So if you want to be maybe specific what sector you're thinking of, what you're looking for in particular, that would so attacking, defending. Maybe I should control. So it's control group. I believe it's 8. Is it actually spelled out as 8? Yep, it's just written out as 8. Control group 8. Attacking. What? 8. There's no unit control follow. Instead, use unit role control group 8. What else we got here? State tracking, lightweight per observer. Extend a small dictionary tag that stores current role, current target, point 2, last retreat frame. Keep it inside the bot instance. No separate class needed. Follow behavior, enhance existing block and control scout. Compute a follow target army towards center. If no army, fall back to the own natural. Use the path to target. That's right. Keep the shield. That's correct. Scout. Reveal behavior. Build queue from expansion location. Oh, that's smart. Yeah, you're gonna use my location list. That's actually, what do I currently do? Don't I currently have the observer doing that? Isn't that early what the observer does? That it goes around the Oh, you know what? It changes that when there's an army. It stops doing that. When the army's ready, it stops. Behavior already started. Yeah, so it already, yeah, that's already do. I have it go through, so it already does that. Multi-observer coordination. First observer follow, others scout, follow. Observer dies, promote the next one to scout. Yeah, that's right. That's what I want to do. Integration touch points. Okay, that's fine. I just need to correct it to make sure it's gonna do that. And then best and easy. I don't know. Best and easy is never, those are, I don't think those ever really work. Best and easy. I mean, simpler perhaps, but easy is, oh. let's do that. All right, what should we work on first? Let me know if you want to start implementing any of these steps, IG adding role assignments in bot, extending control scout. I think I'd like to work on extending the enhance observer role. Let's talk. Before we jump into it, let's actually have a conversation with our AI. In SC2, I want the observer to be effective for my army. This means providing the army with ample vision ahead of it. Can we see ledges? Can we see ledges? I can't remember. Yes, the API should have ledges. Vision ahead of it. And if there is this is a little difficult because you do want it to be rested. Oh, our observer can also do into multi-mode, right? It doesn't have to necessarily, it can actually like, what is that mode when the observer like goes into another mode? What is it called again? Observer. Oh. Multi-mode. What is it called? When it switches modes. Surveillance mode. And so it doesn't move in stationary vision, monitoring key locations, goes to surveillance mode. So it should also add that it goes to surveillance mode. What are you in the first semester of? Maybe give me a little bit of an idea what you're in the semester of. So this means providing the army with ample vision ahead of it. And if there is surveillance mode, what is surveillance mode gives it? Additional vision, right? Uh, 50% increase in vision for surveillance mode and sight radius. This mode is practically useful for providing wide vision over key areas of the map, such as an enemy base or. I don't think we shouldn't have our main observer go into surveillance mode. We should though have our scouts probably go into surveillance mode, and then we'll probably make the main follow observer. So ample vision ahead of it, and there is but not too far that it puts it in danger. Yeah, that's why we can't do surveillance mode with the main armies one, because if it does, then it will like die, and we don't want that. Because it takes time to unsurveil whatever. Probably should also see if it's detected. If it is detected, it should be more cautious. Computer science and engineering. Oh, okay, cool. Computer sci. Okay. And what are you hoping to go into that with that? And should be more cautious. If it's detected, it should be more cautious. And we do want to make sure that. Help me think about how to from your knowledge of StarCraft, two players think about observer movements. Okay. While it does that, let's dig into some of this stuff here. What do we got here? This is reaction. We don't need reaction. To do, figure out why observer isn't moving straight to target and not scouting to locations. Oh, something happened here. Snap. Okay. Figure out why observer isn't moving straight to target and not scouting to locations. That was on 68. So it's supposed to be doing this. Let's run it and see what happens. Why is it not doing what it's supposed to do? I guess if I create a observer, it should technically just do what it's supposed to do. So we'll see if it is this the worker rush bot? Oh shit, it still has the worker rush bot. We need to turn that off. We need to turn off the worker rush bot. I mean, we can just I guess see what happens, but probably best to turn off the worker rush. Actually add surveillance mode. Why is this lagging? Oh, because there's two bots playing. Okay. So we're being rushed. So I guess we'll get to see what happens. We'll get to see our we need to turn off the, oh, here it is. Here it comes. They come and they're attacking us. So worker rush detected. Now, I think we should have probably gone and met them. I feel like instead of letting these workers like cause all this ruckus, we probably should have that. Our bot actually just like, you know what? We're going to go handle you. Oh yeah, okay. We probably could tweak this a bit. Oh my God, we lost. Oh my God. That's actually really bad. Okay, so we're not gonna go worry about this today. That could be tweaked. Worker rush. Is that in response? That's in reaction. Once all enemies are dead, return to mining. I guess we probably should have done this. I didn't even realize I'm gonna have to do this. To do tweak that once worker rush is detected, radius of workers increased. Actually, I can do that right now. What radius is it again? Where is it? is the radius? Radius. Nope. Calculate how many. Where is it again? Get workers that should be mining, not already defending. Assign more workers if needed. Where are we? Distance here is larger radius to catch workers coming in. So let's increase that to 25. Let's see what happens now. Biggest, I know it's a big, I hate deviating for the initial plan of the day, but I just want to see. So we're gonna go see if that actually changes anything. I'd be content to know that the radius, increasing the radius was enough. And we'll go back to what we're doing. So while it's doing that, let's go back to scouting. So goes else, peaceful scouting. Move the scout around in expansions or enemy starts. Check a list of potential targets. This is if there's an, is this because, so it's if there's a main army. So, if bot commenced attack or under attack. For scout and scouts, keep safe. Else, if main army. This direction vector is not being used. We'll have to look at that. The direction vector is not being used. Oh, we get to be on the side of the enemy this time. Let's see what the enemy does. So hopefully my bot will detect this and like respond within the 25 radius. We'll see, because we increased the radius, and so they should. Oh, they should. Oh, are we coming now? Please tell me we're coming. Why are we not going? Boys, please come out. Why are we not leaving? Should the radius be larger? Oh, it does need to be larger. See, now they're coming out, but it's like. Why are we not going back to boys? Why are we not going back to mining? That's heartbreaking. Okay, so I think I know what to do to fix that. So we'll actually increase the radius again. So we'll increase the radius to 30. From the bot location, and then we'll actually restore. There's a piece of code I want to restore. There was a code that I wrote, or that got written, that I want to restore. Is this the cannon rush? Yeah, it was here. Oh, you know where? I'll find it. It'll be easier for me to look into the history. Past conversations. Is it this one? Yeah, it's this one. All right. There's a piece of code here that I remember. We'll just see if copy pasta it. Reactions. That's actually where we try to switch them back to workers gathering, and I think we actually want to do is we want to send them back to the mineral location. We want to tell them to click on the mineral location and then give them back the gathering role after that. Because I think I turned that off and I was like, oh, we don't need to do that. Gathering should automatically do it. No, that actually does not do what you think it does. Here it is. What is this? Oh, am I remembering to turn off worker rush active? False, not worker rush. Yeah, this should reset the flags. Worker rush active, false. What? Wait. Worker. Where's the mining? So this is mining. Keep safe equals not worker rush. Self dot not worker rush. Self dot. So this is actually not right. This actually should be. This is not a real thing. Worker rush active. Is this a reaction? Worker rush. Worker rush active. So it's not worker rush. That's what I thought. Not worker rush. Which should be negative? No, that should be true. Not worker rush should be true. So the reset should go back to, that should be, oh no, here it is. It does. Oh, it does. It goes right back. Not worker rush equals true. That's correct. So it does reset it. Okay, so we'll try to actually plug the flag back in and tell it to. We'll tell it to actually go back to mining. Target attack logic. It wasn't this one. Check if it's over. Clean up. That tries to return it back to gathering again. While in, assign more workers if needed. Target selection attack logic. Check if threat is over. For worker defending worker. Clean up workers by returning them to gathering. So maybe not just to gathering. No targets return to mining. Targeting section. Oh, here it is. No target, return it to mining. This is what we want. To go back to the closest mineral field. Yeah, we want to restore that. We want it to go to the closest mineral field. Else, not just have, so it goes here. Oh, you know what? It might not. Oh, you know, the reason why it might not work because it doesn't loop. Does it loop? Yeah. Oh, it does go for worker and worker. It does. Never mind. If bot mineral field equals bot mineral field closest to the start location, worker gather mineral field. Okay, so that's good. And then you add the gathering, switch back to gathering. Okay, so that should work. Oops. I don't see why that won't work. That should actually do what I needed to do. And that should restore balance to the force. I don't need to do that anymore. Once enemies are dead, return to mining. Check flags. I have to be mindful not to use all my time working on this. We'll run this one last time. So while that's going, we'll switch over to working on scouting. Where did the scouting go? Did I not? So figure out why observer isn't moving straight to target and not scouting locations. Else, if not, has attribute bot count current scout target or bot current is none. If target's bot current scout target equals target 0. If we haven't assigned a current scout target, do so. This is if for scout and scout units. Okay, so it checks to make sure it keeps it safe. If it's taking damage. This is weird. I said if it's like the percentage is low. Oh, I remember now, because like as soon as you get hit, it starts like getting super antsy. And I remember now I wanted it even once. Like you don't want it to be killing itself. All right, so we're seeing from my bot's point of view. We'll see whether or not we trigger anything, and meanwhile in the code, if close to the current target, pick the next target. Oh, we're worker rushing already. Must be a small map. Why are we not defending it? Oi! Oi! All right, finally. Like, why is nobody defending? I'm like, where is everybody? Okay, so we won. Oi! Go back to work. Why is nobody going back to work? All right, go back to work. Why have people stopped? What is going on? Why are you not going back to work? Okay, well, we can't work on that today. Yeah, something's amiss. Oh, gosh. Okay, so we're going to actually keep the to-do. So, to-do, fix Y, probes don't return to work after worker rush. So there's an API layer, player 1, that lets you do it. You can go here and you can check out the template. You can get one started in 30 minutes. And you can get all yourself set up. So why that bot won't rush, or I mean why it won't What did it say? So worker rush detected. Yeah, but for whatever reason, they're not returning to work. And I have to increase the radius again. Because apparently that's not... So like maybe go to 50. Let's see what 50 does. I don't know. Maybe it shouldn't even be the start location. Why don't we do 25? We should say if expansion is visible, then the location of, we should say, let's go, let's say it's 25. Let's say it's 25. But then we'll say something like, we'll say something like, what do we want to say? Something like, if, we'll say something like, can this actually be multiple things? Can we go, get units in range, start point. Oh, you know what? Why don't we use the get mediator? Get units in range. What do we use for the threat detection? We'll use the thing from the threat detection. Threat detection. We use the threat detection to detect even throughout our whole base. Here we go. Near base, ground base. We can get location. Let's actually use this. And instead of having just code, whoops, starting point will actually be perfect. 25, and that should actually cover what we need. Yeah. And then we'll just have to figure out next week why we don't return to work, and then it should be fine. Yeah, because like whatever reason we just don't return to work. Scouting. If close to current target, pick the next. If current target is okay, so that logically makes sense. Move to the current target if it exists. If bot current scout is none, scout target. This makes a lot of sense to me, but why is it not following me? Are we following our enemy? Okay, the enemy's gonna work rush us. Let's see if we respond accordingly. Ooh, that's not supposed to full screen. Please don't full screen. Oh my god. Let's see if we respond correctly to this. Oh shit, what happened? It did not like that. I'm gonna guess it because it like returns. Exception float must be a string or a real number, not collections default. Okay. How can we make this more? We could do something like well, how many different, what could we do here? We could it's Control K, Control J, Control I, Control I. It's not Control I, it is Control I. That's what I thought. Instead of bot start location option it if we have a expansion. If not, it should default to start location. No. No. Base at natural expansion. If we have a basic use that, if not, default to the start location. Cool. See if that works. If what? This music's excellent again. Is it Control I? What brought that up? Yeah, it was Control I. Maybe it shouldn't even be town halls. If I have any building next to the... Let's see if this causes an explosion. Our units are not responding. Okay, now they're responding. That's kind of good. Oh, you know what? I shouldn't have said, yeah, I shouldn't have said, I need to say any, not just, Fine. It's close to natural expansion. Boss structure close to the boss structure close to the center. Project. What should it be? Expansion. If I have any buildings close to the natural expansion, else the top house default to town hall. Cool. Probably an easier way to do that. And then please be the last time I need to run this. Come on, Acropolis. I can't believe this turned into working on guess we'll get to see what happens. So now, if all goes well, this should trigger my probes to come down running. How come they didn't detect this probe rush? Oh, they did come down. Oh, they're here. All of them are here. It worked. They came down. Now they're not gonna go back to work, unfortunately for me. Yeah, they didn't go back to work, but it works. Okay, that's good. Good enough for now. They just don't go back to work. That's it. Fixed probes don't return to work after worker rush. So that's accurate. We're not working on that right now. Let's switch over to, with the time that we have left, switch back over working on the observer. What does this say here? Key principles players use when micromanaging observers when they trail an army. Vision cone, not a leash range. Keep the observer roughly 8 to 14 game units ahead of the army's center, just enough to see up ramps, around corners, behind high ground before they. But I do have that. Where do we have our scouting range? So center of the army. Yeah, here we are. Director of vector. Oh, this is broken. Direction vector. Ah, yes, this is broken. So follow target, main army towards target point. So this is 15. So 8 to okay. So that's I have the same thing. That's not unusual. Um, around corners or behind high ground. If the opponents have a lot of detections for turrets over sea or range, shorten that gap to 6 so that the army can instantly punish or scan detectors. Lead on the axis of advance. Position it along the vector from army center, next rally point, attack point, not directly on top of the army. Recalculate every couple of seconds as the army turns. Terrain abuse, hug high ground edges or cliff ramps. Threat awareness. Oh, there's a lot in here. Detects within 10 range, pull back behind the army or sidestep laterally if that's shot. Pathing over A move Q, smooth waypoints. So the observer never stalls on the army's hitbox. Redundancy. In late game, players add a second observer on a wider arc. Translation to code. Follow observer target. Army centered lead distance, where lead distance adapts for a nearby detectors and health. If the detector in range or was damaged, set lead distance to 6. The path onto a parallel line. Use influence grid, only path through cells with lower enemy DPS. Oh, we could give it an influence grid. I didn't think about that. Do we have a grid? We have an air grid. We don't, but we don't have a damage grid for it. What does this air grid give? Get air grid. What does the air grid give in Eris? What does the air grid have in here? Air grid. Can we see if there's detectors? Is that a thing? Air avoidance grid gets the air avoidance pathing. Any tile with a value greater than 1 will contain some dangerous effect or spell that should always be avoided, such as storms, nukes, rangers, biles. Get the air avoidance grid. Any tile with a value greater than 1 will contain some dangerous effects or spells that should always be avoided, such as storms, nukes, ravagers, biles. One files enemy influence have a value of 1.0. The value higher the value, the more influence there is. Non-pathable tiles. Pathable tiles have a value of 1, with enemy influence having a value of a greater than 1. So we could probably use the air grid, and we can detect if we could just use the air grid. Airfluence grid. Get the air versus ground pathing grid. Grid is computed in a way that lowers the cost of on-path deterrence for ground units, making air units naturally drawn to it. Pathable tiles have a value of 1 and minimum influence. Okay, so let's see what we can do here. But the air get air grid has influence for enemy units. Probably actually could of anything greater than 1. Oh, we need to turn off the. rush bot. We probably just have this a random race now. It doesn't really have to be. Oh, what did you do? I wasn't paying attention. Attack target. Army center. Save tentative target towards lead distance. Try grid is indexed. Influence float. Air grid. Okay, but are we using? Oh, we are using the air grid. Grid is indexed. I don't think you're using the grid correctly. That's not how you use this grid. Or maybe it is, actually. That's not how I use the grid. Oh, race dot random. See what happens. May not even need that random race thing here. Yeah, we don't need this. Observer. Observer. Okay. Yes, the observer's going off. It's doing its thing. It's running around as it should. Okay, so the observer is checking. So this actually is fine. The observer is going to its appropriate spaces. So let's accept this for now. And then we'll check off this to-do because this to-do is no longer accurate anymore. It is looking around where it should go. Oh, it's going to let do one base build. What race is this? Is this Terran? Oh, it's Protoss. Yeah, so that's fine. It's doing what it's supposed to be doing. Oh wait, it has an army now. Wait, what happened to the observer? Why is the observer just sitting at the enemy's third? Oi. Oh, did it? Oh, you know what it is? It's because they built another observer, didn't it? Or did it? This observer is abandoned. Let's kill this observer. Kill observer. Kill observer. Kill one observer. Okay, hopefully we'll make a new one. Or maybe it's just broken now that I think about it. Maybe the code for it to go look for... Is it gonna make another observer? Are we not making observers anymore? Are we giving up on them? Oh, there it is. Okay. Here's this observer. I don't know where this observer is going though. Let's find out. If we are fortunate, this observer will do as we requested. Observer's taking forever. I mean, the game is practically over. Well, it's kind of staying where it's supposed to do. It's kind of inching. Okay, let's see what this looks like. Let's start this over again. Oh, we'll have to ending the stream soon, but let's toss it in there again. All right, well, we'll let it actually build naturally this time. Yeah, this is going to be our last run. Got a notification. Oh shit, what just happened? Gatekeeper. What race are we up against? This is random. Wait, why did it use the PVZ? Did it know it was against did it know it was against the Zerg? $246. Okay, well, it should obviously. Oh, maybe this should actually be. Yes, that's exactly. It should actually be pushed in there. That should fix it. It was a strange little indentation problem. Let's see if we can squeeze one in. Cybernetics core. What are we up against? Oh shit, what happened? Oh. Yeah, we're not gonna have time to test this. I actually have to get going in 3 minutes. Okay, so let's actually commit some stuff here. So this was like fix. Fix. Gatekeeper. Error. It's here. Commit that. So this is added. Wait, do we have the abstract player state? Okay, yeah, we do have abstract player. Added rush dummy bot. Let's commit that. Commit that. And then that was actually a feature. I should have labeled feature. That's fine. Okay. Let's scout unit controls. Sure. All right. We're going to upload all those and we'll. Oh, I have 1 minute. Cool. Okay, let's music down a little bit. All right. So we come to the end. That was a pretty, I would say it was a decent session. A little bit of bug squishing. We'll be going back to Observer next week. Of course, we will be building out further. We'll be building out further some of the observe. Well, we'll test because actually I didn't get any testing done. I crashed before we can test it. So, anyways, don't forget to try out this template if you need it, and if you want every 2 weeks, I send out a newsletter of what's going on, what I've learned to make it really easy. Compress that down to you to a newsletter or something you can try. Give it a shot. Exclamation mark sub, or if you look into the description, you can get it. Get it your own. I'll see you next week here on SC2 Bot Assembly. May the bugs be ever in your favor. Bye.